Hello, and welcome to the webinar for the site custodians of the Active Places data platform. My name is Emma. I am the Data Validation Team Manager, and I'll be presenting today's webinar, where we'll be going through some key information about Active Places and you, our custodians. So we'll be covering the below topics. We're going to be going through who Sport England are, what Active Places is, the role of site custodians, how to log in, what you see when you log in, how we maintain the data, how reviewable changes and approvals work, our validation rules, and I'll go through a very quick edit and audit demo as well. The webinar will be available after on our help and support pages. Sport England are responsible for growing grassroots sport and getting more people active across England. Their current strategy, Uniting the Movement, aims at investing in sport and activity to make it a normal part of life. To help people get active, access to local sports facilities is needed. To ensure the right spaces are provided in the right places, it's crucial to know exactly where formal sports take place and what facilities are available. This is where Active Places comes in. It is a national facilities database with over 41,000 sites and 115 sports facilities in England. It is used by Sport England, local authorities and national governing bodies of sport to aid in allocation of funding and future strategic planning. It's made of two different platforms. The one we'll be going into more detail about today, the Active Places data platform, that is used to record and maintain Active Places data, and Active Places Power, which is a reporting and analysing toolkit. To give you a little bit more of an overview of both of these platforms and how they are important, I'm going to play you a video on the next slide.
To help us get active, we all need access to local sports facilities, such as swimming pools, tennis courts and football pitches. But to ensure that the right spaces are provided, in the right places, it's crucial to know exactly where formal sports take place and what facilities are available. Active Places, the National Sports Facility Database for England, gives us that knowledge. It contains comprehensive, searchable information covering approximately 41,000 sites nationwide, with details on around 115,000 sports facilities. This powerful resource is used in a variety of ways. Active Places can help local authorities make decisions which ensure that they have the right facilities in the right places to serve their existing communities and, where there is housing growth, address the demands of new communities. Active Places can guide investment decisions within bodies and organisations, ensuring funds are directed where they can make the biggest impact. One example is the Football Foundation, who use Active Places alongside their own data to inform investments in artificial pitches and improvements to natural grass pitches. Because all of the information within Active Places is freely available, it can be used by a range of organisations working across the sport and health sectors. For example, the data is often connected into apps that help the public find facilities in their local area, enhancing their opportunities to be active. None of this is possible without accurate, up-to-date data. That's why we rely heavily on the active participation of sports site owners, who can easily update their records via our user-friendly interface, or by speaking to our dedicated data validation team. Together, we work to ensure that all records are up to date. This might be through a targeted edit when a change happens, or as part of our annual review cycle. By keeping the database current and active, we can help build a healthier, more active nation. Active Places, the National Sports Facility Database for England. For more information, please visit our website.
Thank you for watching that video. So that gives a really good overview of how the Active Places data is used, who it's used by, and why it's important that you as site custodians and us as a data validation team complete the annual reviews on the sites and facilities and make sure the data is current and up to date. So you as a site custodians self-manage the sites and sports facilities best. So you could be the facility managers, parish clerks, club secretaries, or if you're with a school, it could be PE teachers or school business managers. Our custodians can complete the annual audit. You can also complete any ad hoc changes on the platform. You are always supported by the data validation team. We're available Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and our live chat is on the website that's available during these times as well. That is connected directly to us in the team, so you will be speaking to a real person. So now you know who you are, we'll get you logged in to the platform. You now have a username that's derived from your email address. So if your email follows the format site.custodian@manager.com, your username would be site.custodian.manager. We can see your username, so if you don't know it, you can ask the team and we can provide you with that information. Once you are logged in, you can see all your sites that are associated to you in your My Sites page. Some site custodians just have one site to look after, and some custodians have more sites to look after. You'll be able to edit and audit all the sites listed under My Accepted Sites, unless an audit is due. So edit does get disabled once your annual audit is due to be completed, and you must complete the full review going through each tab before you can edit the site separately. You might also have sites under My Nominated Sites. So these are sites that the team might think you are the best contact for, but you've not yet accepted to audit annually. You can view the public information on these sites, but you're not able to edit or audit them. Excuse me. Okay, you're not able to edit or audit them. The DVT will still contact you for any nominated sites when the audit is due. And if you do think that you are best placed to complete the annual audit on these sites, you can click the accept button under the actions in the table. Okay, so just bear with me. I'm going to show you how to log in. Okay, so we're going to log in now. You can see that my username here is not my email address, it's emma.carter.so. I'm logging into the test environment, so please be aware that these sites are not live and are being used for testing, so it's not current or up-to-date data. Okay, so when we sign in, you can see live chat pop up in the right-hand side. You can just minimize that window if you don't require it. We have here, under your sites page, you have my request to the DVT, data validation team. My request from the data validation team, so anything that we think you might be a nominee for or an owner of will show up in that section. And then we can see the My Accepted sites. These are the most important sites. These are sites that we are responsible for and that we need to audit and edit. You can see here the last time that your site was updated and when the audit is due on. Okay. So now we're logged in. We've also got our profile page as well, which I'll skip to in a second. So your name will be on the top right hand side of the screen. I'll go back to that in a moment for us. You can click down on that option and you can edit your profile and you will see the information that we hold from you. So this will be associated with all the sites you're a custodian of, and it is not public information. It is for us, the data validation team, to use to contact you with any queries about your sites. So please do keep this section as up to date as possible. It's important to note that upon editing your profile, the changes go to the DVT to be reviewed, and you won't be able to see your account information until this has been approved by us. This should take around 1 working day to complete, and you will still be able to edit and audit your sites whilst that is in progress. You can send requests to DVT from this screen as well, so you can request to either be removed from the site. You might want to also send us a note out of hours. So let's go back to APDP. So here we go, we've got my name on the top right hand side. I'm going to go to edit profile. You see my information here. If you update this section, please do click the Submit button and that will come through to us for review. And under here you can see my accepted sites. So you won't be able to audit or edit from this screen, but you can send us a request through. Oh, there's already one for that one in the testing. So you can say that you want to be removed from a site, you would like the site to be transferred to someone else's ownership, or you could say just say a note about the site if you needed extra assistance, and we can come back to you the next working day. As I mentioned as well, you can see your nominated sites in this section. So that's showing as pending. It's waiting for the data validation team to make an action on that one. Okay. Going to minimize again, go back to the presentation. So now you know a little bit about how to log in. It's just important to explain the data model and how the data relates to each other. So each site has a facility. You can't have a site without a facility, and you can't have facilities without a site. So that site is pinpointed on a location on the map and then has associated facilities with it. Facilities have different subtypes, and then each facility with its subtype will have a different status, different specifics, management type and opening times. I've got another video for you that's going to go into a little bit more detail about the data model and how the data is relating. I'm just going to play this now for you.
The Active Places database holds millions of data points for sports sites and facilities. Structuring this information consistently is key to unlocking valuable insights. How Active Places structures data. Every entry in Active Places starts with a site, a location where people can undertake physical activity. Each site has a name, location, ownership details and amenities. Since multiple sites can share a name, each site is assigned a unique site ID to avoid confusion. The database includes all types of sites, whether owned by local authorities, educational institutions or leisure providers. This comprehensive approach ensures a full picture of sports provision. A facility represents a specific opportunity for activity within a site. Facilities are categorised by type, such as swimming pool, grass pitch or gym, and by subtype. For example, a swimming pool could be a main pool, leisure pool, diving pool or Lido. Facilities have attributes such as build year, management type and changing rooms. Facility specifics, like pool length for swimming pools or surface type for artificial grass pitches, provide more granular detail. Every facility has a unique facility ID, ensuring clear differentiation across the database. Counting facilities. Some facilities, such as swimming pools and gyms, have a one-to-one relationship, with each facility representing a single activity space. Facilities like pitches, courts or rinks have a one-to-many relationship, where a single facility can offer multiple activity opportunities. To simplify records while maintaining accuracy, facilities are groups where they share the same attributes. For example, if a site has 4 adult football pitches but only one has floodlights, the database will record 2 separate football facilities, one with 3 pitches and no floodlights, and another with 1 floodlit pitch. When using the Active Places data, it's essential you decide whether to count facilities, pitches, courts or rinks. The right approach depends on the analysis needed. Tracking closures. Facilities that close are not deleted from the Active Places database. Instead, their operational status is updated. A closed facility may be marked as temporarily closed, not marked out, or closed. A site is only marked as closed when all its facilities are no longer in use. Closure data and reasons are captured to help users analyse trends over time. To support data interpretation, additional guidance is available in the Frequently Asked Questions section. Unlocking insights. Understanding how sites, facilities and attributes link together helps users maximise the value of Active Places data. Whether you're a site custodian maintaining records or a data user analysing trends, exploring the help resources and FAQs will provide further clarity on the data structure and relationships. By mastering these connections, you can unlock deeper insights into sports provision across the country.
Okay, I hope you're all back with me. So that just explains a little bit more about how important the data is and the relationships within the database and how much actual information that we do capture within the Active Places data platform. So now maintaining the data, the annual audit is done once a year. Checking the data this way hopefully catches any change in the use of facilities, any refurbishments that have happened and any new facilities that have been built. If nothing has been updated, you can click through and complete the annual audit without making any changes, but just be sure to check through as you're doing it. We will remind you once a year, we'll remind you once your audit is due. So we send out email reminders to the email address in your account, and these will be sent 1 month before your audit is due, then 2 weeks before, 1 week before, and on the audit due date, and then periodically when your site and facilities are out of date, so past the audit due date. At this point as well, when it comes out of date, the DVT may contact you separately, just to make sure we still have the right contact, that you're still working in the organisation, etc. Our automated emails and reminders are coming from sport.england.active.places@notifications.service.gov.uk. So that service email address is the one that we'll send you notifications for reminders to confirm that the audit's been completed, and any updates to the system will come from that email address as well. So some of the changes or additions that you can make during an edit or an audit will come through to the team for review. So location edits, where the pin is moved or the address fields are changed, that comes through to us, and we just make sure that this is a valid address and that it's not on a residential site or anything like that. When changing or adding to the public notes, which are the public notes section, disability notes or operational status notes, we review those as well because these are viewable by the public. So we just need to make sure that that information included is neutral and clear. Your account information, we just make sure that that is all up to date and accurate so we can get in touch with you. If you do need to change the custodian to a colleague, this is a separate process, so please contact the team separately with who the new person is, and we can get that updated for you. Closing facilities in a site, it's really important for the data that closures are recorded accurately. Those closures are still used to report on, to analyse trends within the data. One thing to note as well is that grass pitches have their own operational status of no grass pitches currently marked out. So this is to be used when a pitch is not in use or a different configuration is in play. We would only close grass pitches where it has been built over or its use has been permanently changed. A site is only closed when all of its facilities have closed and it's no longer available for use in any capacity. If a site or facility is no longer used for the community, we would not close that site. Instead, we would update the opening hours and the means of access to either registered membership use or private use at the facility level, which means it won't become available in reporting, but it would remain on the platform as an operational facility. If you need to create a new site, that comes through to us just to double check the information is correct and we haven't already added that site on the platform. If you reopen a facility that was previously closed, we will just check that this is the best course of action. Sometimes it might be better to add a new facility rather than reopening an old one. When deleting a facility or deleting a site, it's really important that deletions only are made when there's been an error, a duplicate or a data error. So the facility and site IDs are unique and used in reporting with local authorities, the Football Foundation and Sport England, so ideally they should remain consistent. So as previously mentioned, if a site or facility is no longer operational, we've got the option to close it. With a facility, if it's no longer being hired out for community use, we can change the means of access within the opening times to private use, and we would only really delete it if there has been an error or duplicate in the system. So what happens next? Once you have submitted your edit or audit with a reviewable change, the team review it. This is usually completed within 1 working day. Whilst that is being reviewed, your site will not be editable or auditable. So if you can't get back in, it's because that reviewable change is still outstanding. Also, if a reminder email is due, that might still come to you, so don't panic if you do get a reminder email saying the audit hasn't been completed. You'll get a notification by email once the change has been approved. If it has been rejected, you'll also get a notification by email, and it will include the reason for the rejection and instructions on what to do next. Okay, so validation rules. The platform has built-in rules for the data we capture. This ensures that the data fits in with our facility guidelines and can be used in facility planning and reporting. The facilities on the platform have a set of specifics that relate to the facility subtype, and these will have acceptable margins that we're expecting to see from that facility type. Some of the specifics affect others on the platform. So for example, if floodlights are selected, the system will then expect on the next tab there to be opening times. So for example, if a football pitch has got floodlighting, we would expect to see that it has got opening times and be available from say 9 AM to 9 PM and be available in the evenings for use, whether it be private or community use. And the system will notify you of that. So you'll see a little red cross come up on the side, and it will show you that there's an error that needs sorting out before you can continue on with your audit. I'm going to quickly run through an audit. Bear in mind this is the test platform, so this data isn't live. You can see down here the date that your audit will be due on. If it is out of date, you will only be able to audit. You won't be able to edit a site. We've got one that is suitable. So I'm going to click the audit button. It's going to take us straight into audit mode. In audit mode, we have to go through each tab and do it step by step. We've made sure we've checked each bit of information in the site and in the facilities. Once you're moving through, you'll get green ticks on the tabs that you've been through. Any red crosses will indicate a data error. That's something that's out of the bounds that we have permitted for that facility type or for that field, and it will need to be resolved and corrected before you submit your audit. The orange triangle means that it's going to be a data exemption. This is data provided that's not within the expected range, but you can submit it, and it will have a flag on it. We know that it doesn't meet the active places criteria, so then that can be used in our reporting. First tab, it's the site name and address. You can see the address in the address box. You can update the name here. That comes through to the team for review. If you do need to edit the address, you can click edit here. You can search for the address with a postcode in this top box, or you can drop a pin on the map. Map can be zoomed out. You can add layers of satellite. Once I've now dropped that pin on there, it has brought up all these address points on the map, and they are viewable in the table below. By selecting one of these, it will then select the address and fill that information automatically for you. If you do need to add in extra information, you can. Once I've done that, I need to just confirm the address to move on from that. The location metadata is all automatically populated. You don't need to worry about that information. It's systematically generated. Oh, scrolling in the map there. So I'm going to click next. This is your information, site custodian. That's what's available on your profile page. That's just for you and the data validation team. Notes page, we've got the non-public site notes and the public notes. Public notes are publicly viewable. Non-public are for yourselves and the data validation team, and will also include system updates that have happened and when. The record history section is all automatically generated. It's generated when the site was created on the system. The last updated date and last audit date are in there. This contact information is publicly available. We would include any bookings or any contact information if somebody wanted to inquire about using the facilities there. So site management, we've got owner type, which is a descriptor of people or the company that has legal ownership of the site. So the example here, we've got local authority and local authority in-house because it's a parish council that are looking after that. We only use education if it's an education site, the education phase. And the management start date, so if it has changed management hands, you might want to add the management start date for a new management. But that is not a mandatory field. Amenities, this is what's available at the site. Is there a car park there for parking? Is there a cycle park or cycle hire, cycle workshop? And does the site have table tennis equipment or cricket bowling machine? It's all about the disabled access next. What's available at this site and at facility level. This is at site levels. Is the entrance accessible? Is there emergency exits with ramps? Are the disabled toilets and changing facilities at the site? And each can be individually selected. Clicking on there. We can add in site aliases. It might be known as the football field or another name that can be added in here, which is free text. Now we've got the facilities table. We can see we now need to click this audit facilities button here and just take a moment just to view what facilities that you have got there. So here we can see we've got several grass pitches, a sports hall and outdoor tennis court. We can see the facility subtypes as well. So we know that I'm expecting 4 auditable facilities, as we do not audit closed ones. I can go through those very quickly now. We've got grass pitches, adult football. It's currently saying no grass pitches marked out, but it's being used. So I'm going to change that to operational. You can see that the management type, same as the site. The year the facility was built, this isn't mandatory for grass pitches. If that facility's had a refurbishment that year, we can update the information here. Changing rooms information, has that been refurbished? No, it hasn't. I'm going to click next. Disabled access, again, this is because it could be different at facility level. That can be updated if necessary. The specifics, this is relating directly to this adult football pitch. With grass pitches, we've got pitch count. We've got whether there's a hybrid pitch available and if there's artificial sports lighting available there. And next we've got the opening time. So this is a publicly available field. It's got dawn to dusk and it's sports club and community association. That's how it can be used. I've just come to the end of facility 1 of 4. I'm going to validate and continue and it will take me straight into the next facility to audit. I've got 2 of 4 auditable facilities. I'm now in the cricket pitch. We can see that information at the top of the screen. All of these tabs do look the same. Just check the information is correct and we can just work our way through. I've gone on to disability. That's the same as before. Pitch details, there's 1 cricket pitch there. We count the pitch as the whole area that a cricket match is played in. Again, we've got a seasonal, be available May till September. In 3 or 4, got mini soccer. Build history is all the same. Disability information will all be the same. Facility specifics for the mini soccer. We've got 1 pitch, whether it's hybrid, and if it's overmarked. Overmarking means if this pitch is marked out within another larger pitch. So this one isn't, it's on its own. We've got a sports hall as well. We can see the subtype, it's an activity hall. Year built's different, 2000. Disability information, and then the specifics. There's more specifics per sports hall. There's more information to capture. But we've got the dimensions here. If I was to change this to a low value and then click next, you can see I've got an error now. This is an exemption error. I'm just going to go back and check. This facility should be between 9 and 18 meters. Correct that back to 10. Click next again, and that is resolved. And then we've got when this facility is available. It's available between 8 and 10 under detailed timing, and it's pay and play. I've now been through all of my facilities during that audit. If I click next, we will be able to submit our audit. That's all completed. I'm going to very quickly show you a quick edit. In edit mode, I can jump around any of the tabs where I need to go. I can go into the contact information, I can go into the facilities, and I can go into the individual facility to edit it as well. If I want to change this fitness studio, for example, I want to say in the specifics that actually there is dimensions aren't correct. I'm going to update that to 18. Is the gymnastics or trampoline use at this studio? I'm going to say no. I'm going to get that updated. None of this equipment's available within that studio. I'm going to apply that. You can see that we have changed something within that fitness studio in this session, and then I'm done editing. I'm going to submit. I might want to save my changes, or I might say I made a mistake and I can discard them, and then we can start over again. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to submit that edit. And then we can hit exit edit, and it takes us back to our My Sites screen where we can see all of our sites. Thank you for going through all of that with us today, with myself. So now we've got our handy resource guide here. So you can rewatch the videos that we've watched within this presentation today. And there's an extra video in there around maintaining the data. We've got links to Active Places Power, directly to the platform, our help and FAQs, and there's the email address for the team there should you have any queries. Thank you again for watching this presentation and webinar. If you've come back to it and watched it after it's been recorded, thank you for taking the time to go through this. I hope it's been helpful for you.